Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 3, where today we will be continuing our High Queen Khalida campaign. We're sort of taking a pan over the southern continent of this, well, not southern continent, but the southern part of this desert continent here. And you can see that Talaqua are struggling. Their settlements over here are almost besieged by two of our armies. We have taken some of the middle glades, our ally, some more of the coastline, and we have the statues of the gods under siege here as well. So I expect that this war might not wrap up quickly, but it ought to be over very shortly because they've lost their recruitment hubs. I think the only sort of big city they've got is Slatan or Slatlan here, which has no military. Well, yes, it doesn't quite have the ability to get temple guards, so that kind of limits their recruitment options. And in the north, on the northern front, we have something else which is quite interesting. We have Skarbrand under siege by King Futep. So I thought what we'd do is we'd wrap up the fight in the north first, and then we'd move down south. It says it'll be a close victory, and I am quite concerned about big boy Skarbrand over here. But, yeah, let's get into it and see what we can do. Alright, welcome to Stormhenge, a totally not budget and Cornite version of Stonehenge, a lovely little monument in the United Kingdom. Now, today there will be a great battle fought here. And the plan is to have the sepulchral stalkers over here, which are hidden at the back of the settlement on the other side, take the rear capture points to give us some more momentum for damage and vigor increase. To have the snakes over here sort of attract attention and hopefully pull some stuff away. And then we're going to push up and we're going to try and secure the two wings here. We're going to split to try and take these two bridges to grab the capture points. It's going to be a tough one. Skarbrand is a difficult opponent at the best of times, but I believe that our army has what it takes. So let's get this underway. Basically, as soon as I see Skarbrand, he is going to be the initial archer focus. I mean, I have seen him now, so we're going to have to get that started. But I'm hoping that we can just essentially create a superior infantry formation that will then be able to draw the ire of Skarbrand. Now, it looks like they haven't spotted that we have our sepulchral stalkers here, so I'm going to get one to go straight up to the high ground and one to go to the low ground. Looks like we are having a summoned unit brought down on our archers, so I'm going to have the Ushabti go and deal with that. We'll get Rakash in there as well. Don't want to lose archers if at all possible, but it looks like they have more or less just spawned and completely wiped that unit out. That's unfortunate. Can we see Skarbrand still? No, we can't. Okay. What's this? Tomb Swarm. Strong versus 25-man unit. Oh, nice. We'll be able to get a big blob then with that, I have no doubt. We got the Hydra Titans up the front right now. They have Spirit Leech. Skarbrand has gone all the way back to the central capture point, which I must admit I was not expecting. Let's get our archers closer up here. And the aim is going to be to drag as many of their infantry units into combat at the front line as possible. And then we'll drop a nice, juicy Tomb Swarm on that position. Unfortunately, I can't do much about the crumbling of the infantry units right now because, well, yeah, we've got all our leadership next to them anyway, so if they're going to crumble, they're going to crumble. There's not much we can do about it. These knights over here are kind of a bit useless right now, but my thinking was that if we just sort of kept them here, if they ever exposed any weakness on the flank, we could always send some stuff back to go and, you know, deal with them. I'm waiting right now for some more people to come and join this big cluster in the middle. We can see that the enemy are funneling more and more units into that general location. I want to keep us grouped up because it's where we'll get the best use out of a tomb swarm. I think I'm actually going to use this one here now that there's 4 units in range. Try to get our archer units here to focus down some of the archery that's coming out from the Night Runners. We are going to want to try and force our way through eventually, but you can see that the Core Knight summons are being mildly problematic. Now, what's Skarbrand doing? Is he coming to try and reclaim these? No, he's not. Alright, so we got ourselves some momentum. And we'll be able to use that to our advantage, one would hope. We are kind of, right now, very clumped up over here. But that's okay, because as far as I'm aware, at this level, he doesn't have any big, you know, I drop this on a clump kind of spells and it disappears, whereas we kind of do. This Hyrule Titan needs to get into combat, though. I'm okay losing a certain amount of stuff here, you know? Obviously, I don't want to lose too much, but sometimes that's not something that you have any control over, so we'll just keep pushing up here, and we'll try and take out the capture point when we can. But with this capture point going over with the Sepulchral Stalkers picking on a lone unit of Bloodletters, we should be just fine. Okay, I'm going to start swinging the cavalry into the city, try and pull some of their infantry away from this big frontal blob for a second, because... Or actually, can I just run straight down the under? Yeah, it looks like I'll be able to run straight down the underground and just come up on the other side, so we're going to do that. We got our big army healing coming in now, which is nice. And I'm going to drop a Tomb Swarm here, just to wipe out what's left of the defenders. Once this happens, I'm going to start getting the Hyrule Titans and the Ushabti units to start breaking down bits of the barriers. Because if we do that, then we can get the capture point. And if we get the capture points, we shut down the towers. And that's the most important objective right now. Apparently I can't use that on him, which is really annoying, because he is riding a War Sphinx, you know? Like, you'd think if he's riding a War Sphinx and it can heal War Sphinxes, you'd be able to heal him. But I guess it's to prevent, like, one-man Doomstacks or something. Who knows? These guys stopped, I think because that barricade went up in their way. Okay, I made a big mistake here and lost track of what was going on. Let's see if we can get our Sepulchral Stalkers out of there. Because that's a lot of power I don't necessarily want to lose. What have we got over here? Okay, let's commit these guys into the Bloodletters momentarily. And if that barrier goes down shortly, then we'll be able to flood some stuff in. So let's get some troops moving over on this side. We've already got the cav coming over on that side, so... Okay, that's both units of Sepulchral Stalkers down. That's quite a hit. to me and my chances, but we're just going to have to make do. They might reclaim the back capture points, but we split their army up, so we will get the frontal ones. At least that's the hope. Auto-resolving this would have been a lot simpler, but, you know, it's a fun fight. I don't like auto-resolving everything, especially not battles versus, like, big legendaries. Because those are the most fun ones to fight. A lot of the time, even if they are the most difficult. My only worry now is that Skarbrand is very healthy, and nothing I have except Hydra Titans is healthy for me. So I'm going to have to put the Hydra Titans on him. Is what I'm essentially getting from that. If we don't put the Hydra Titans on him, we're going to lose. So I'm going to send the Hydra Titans over. I'm going to get my heroes out of there before they start rampaging. Nope, too late. Alright, we did get rid of the tower, and the Hydra Titan should be able to deal with Skarbrand over time. We'll get the archers to fire into him as well. We've got some halberds there, so, you know, our fighting chance here, especially with the spirit leeches we can get out of both of the... both of the Hydra Titans ought to do some serious damage to Skarbrand himself. And if Skarbrand goes down, then I'm, you know, I obviously am not too worried about the rest of the army. It's a bunch of bloodletters, which, while strong, have their limitations. It looks like Skarbrand will very shortly, because of the extra spirit leech, begin burning. It's been a costly fight, honestly. Maybe the one-angle approach under the towers was not the play. Not 100% sure what I would have done differently, though. It's one of the disadvantages of playing just after you've gotten up sometimes is that you're like, was that the right call? I don't know. Too sleepy to care. But I wanted to get this recorded today because today... a little bit of behind-the-scenes info for you is the day that Chaos Dwarves are launching, and who doesn't want to be playing Chaos Dwarves today? You know, I certainly do. Oh, it looks like with Skarbrand going down, actually, that's the mass crumble. So, we lost 2 units of Sepulchral Stalkers, 1 unit of Regiment of Renown. Wait, did I lose my Necrotect? Oh, that's painful. Ah well, heroic victory it is. Well, that was kind of costly, but I'll take it. We're going to take more Canopic Jars. Sadly, Omaf was killed in battle. Can we recruit a hero here? Necrotect? We can. We can recruit one to replace him. So, like... this gives 2 Canopic Jars per turn. This is diplomatic relations with all factions. And it's the same name. We could replace Omaf with Omaf. But I think that might give Futep some difficulty. So let's get the Wrathful Itobom. Get him into that army as quickly as possible. Now, what did we lose? We lost a Regiment of Renown unit. Lost a lot of them recently, it seems. Well, that's alright, we can make do. So, I think we can just very quickly flesh out this army by grabbing Sepulchral Stalkers are a lot of turns. More turns than I'm willing to wait for the time being. So I think what I'm going to do is we're going to grab 1 unit of archers and 2 units of tin gun. We're going to flesh out our back line. And then we're going to grab 1 more Ushabti from the Kemrian recruitment pool. And when we put the leader back in, we will have a full settlement. So let's put some walls in Stormhenge temporarily. Not too bad a start. Not too bad a start at all. Now, Khalida is laying siege to the Statue of the Gods, but it looks like our main Necrotect has leveled up, so we are going to put that into devastating charge. And our priest has leveled up as well. But I think I have it on auto level up now because I've got everything except at the bottom, yeah. Okay. So, Statues of the Gods. It's going to be a bloody turn. Lots of sieges. Oh. Never mind. I mean, it's still going to be a bloody turn, but I'm not playing that. It's a minor settlement with skinks. I don't know why I'd hype myself up thinking that was an interesting fight. We'll occupy that one. Which will be very nice for us indeed. Over here, I don't think he has the movement to join Jenna. No, he doesn't. Because Jenna is going to pick him up and start sweeping down the coastline towards Zlatland. Okay, the Temple Avenue of Gold. It is a capital, but is it worth fighting? No. No, it's not. The only thing that's there are the walls, and we'd take them very quickly. It's tempting to sack it for money, but we make 12k a turn, 13k a turn right now. And we just got an extra gold mine. Look at that, that's pretty good. So, yeah, tempting to sack, but I don't think it's worth it. We need a mortuary house in this building. And can we get down to the Caverns of Sotek with Mr. Pashedu? No, we cannot. Okay, so we're recruiting here. Next turn, we'll start moving up towards Gal Baraz. We've claimed all of the Central Desert, bar this very inhospitable piece there. And yeah, I think I'm just going to go and upgrade some buildings. And then next turn, we'll continue pushing our enemies out of their former homelands. Alright, we're going to move Prince Isof to join King Jenna. And then Jenna can continue his little saunter down the coast towards Zlatland. It's going to take him a few turns, so let's give him the old you should force march. Okay, the force march isn't working because the hero had moved first. That makes sense. Now, the bit I'm having difficulty with is whether or not I send Khalida south. And I think I should, because Rakash is north. You know, Rakash is pretty obviously... well, not pretty obviously, but he's there. He's recruiting. He got his heroes back. And we're going to start moving him now towards Kemri, which I think is one of our bigger recruitment hubs. So we'll start force marching him. He needs an army again. I'm not happy that his army died previously. Now, Lamy over here is shorter unit. We can't get him a hero, so I guess we'll just... This guy appears to be Ulu Shabti. So I guess we'll global recruit him some Ushabti. We have... Where do we have armies? Ah, yes, here. The caverns of Sotek are being marched down upon. Nice and easy auto-resolve there. We're just going to keep occupying. I would sack them for the extra money, but I really don't think I need the public order troubles. And now that we've secured this full region, we can keep marching down here. Now this is where things are going to get dangerous, because Tzeentch is present. I don't really want to be at war with Tzeentch, but he started it. So, whatever. I'm hoping that we might be able to convince Tzeentch to ask for peace, if we can drive him off this continent completely. And then we'll leave the 3 armies that we've got down here sort of along this coastline and send Khalida north. Because for our long victory conditions, well, we've done most of what we need to do here. The only cities we've got belong to Khemri that we don't currently possess. So I'm going to start sort of bringing my armies back once we've dealt with Skarbrand and taken Galbaraz to potentially end our campaign in one massive backstab maneuver. But I haven't quite settled on that yet, so we'll see what happens there. Alright, so the last couple of turns have not been particularly interesting. I've walked down the coastline, took Stor Sopindar. We've got it very close to Slatland, but it looks like our ally might get there first. I've upgraded some buildings. Rakash has started recruiting. Lamy has started moving north just to try and help us secure whatever else belongs to Skarbrand up here. But because of the attrition, it's fairly slow going. Now, I have noticed that this part of the desert is largely controlled by rats, by the look of it, so I'm hoping we don't have to deal with them anytime soon. I'm going to leave them alone, and they should leave me alone. At least that's the hope. So over here in our capital, we did just research the next dynasty. So we could get a Tomb King this turn. But I think I'm probably just going to grab Wakaf this turn. Setup is quite nice, actually, for all armies. But this guy is all chariots, which I don't care about. So, yeah, we'll go for Wakaf. I'm going to finish putting some points into upgrades, and then next turn we'll try and take Skarbrand's capital, as well as secure the southern regions. Interesting. It wasn't the other Tomb Kings, it was the Beastmen that initiated the attack on Slatland. Okay, well, they're likely to raise it or sack it, so we can just move in and occupy. Which will be quite nice as a way to start the first turn here. So, let's grab this city before our ally can. It feels weird, because, like, I'm battling my allies so hard for control of some of this territory. We'll colonize Uatek as well, get the southern jungles. And then we will move King Pet... I want to give him a different name, because I don't know how to say it. We're going to encircle Dawn's Light, and because we're encircling, we shouldn't be taking attrition. But can we, if we march, get ourselves into reinforcement range down here? And it looks like we can. So, in one fell swoop, actually, it looks like we can grab everything except the Fortress of Dawn down here. This is going to be a decisive victory. I'm not going to bother fighting it. This isn't Kairos. And to be honest with you, I'd just lose way more than the AI is saying I will, and I don't fancy embarrassing myself like that. I know I'm bad at the battle sometimes. I don't need the game to confirm it for me. So we're going to start moving Mr. Pichetto here back to Tor Serpindar. And we'll get Khalida, maybe, if it's still there, to take the Fortress of Dawn. Kairos is just the other side of the ocean, but because of that, I'm actually going to see if Kairos will...
The scintillating undulations distort the cosmos.
Nope, he really doesn't like me. Okay, we might need to leave someone down here to keep an eye on him. Not that I wasn't expecting to have to do that. Anyway, so, down south we have secured the bottom part of the island. And our allies have a small smattering of lands, nothing that we shouldn't be able to deal with over time. Here in Lemire, we're going to go and say, Wakaf, welcome back! Good job! And we are going to use the local recruitment in this area, which is better than in some of the others, because of the nature of what we can get here. To recruit him a very strong army, I think. What are we at, 17? Yeah, I think at this point we'll start looking towards extra heroes. So, let's get an extra Tomb Prince research this turn. Looks like he started with enough ranks to gain a skeletal steed. That's quite nice. Let's quickly chuck some points into a few things for him. There we go. That looks good to me. And we've got ourselves an extra army, which is fabulous. The more armies we have on the go, the harder it is for the AI to win by spreading us thinly across the map, I think. So, let's get garrisoned in Khemri. Because now I'm going to have to look at doing some long-term global recruitment for his army. Now, he did have war sphinxes before. And those are currently going into Wakaf's army. So what if I just drop them from Wakaf's army for now? And instead we'll fill him up with Ushabti to make up the remainder there. Leave 2 slots for a hero. That's 4 turns. That'll do. And you will also be 4 turns. But I would like him, or 8 turns, I suppose. We'll go with 4 for now. And yeah, I mean, Rakaf is going to be recruiting for quite a while. Rakash is going to be recruiting for quite a while. But that's okay, I can live with that. Now, Lamy is not going to be able to make it to Galbaraz this turn, but Futep can. So, let's see. It says valiant defeat. And I am inclined to believe it because the last settlement battle was very costly. So I'm going to lay siege and try and get Mr. Lamy over there to help out. He's going to take some attrition on the way up, I'm sure. So if that's the case, then let's march him. Let's make it 1 turn of attrition and not 2. Alright. Oh yeah, siege equipment for Galbaraz. That might be useful, actually. Let's grab a couple of siege towers. Don't really rate rams when you have things like Hydra Titans, etc. to knock down the walls. I'm going to spend the next couple of minutes going through and putting some skill points into our commanders, and I'll see you all on the flip side. Okay, straight away, as we start this battle, we are being attacked by Hogroxa Organ Slasher. It says a close victory. Skarbrand will get there in 2 minutes. I think this is winnable. Okay, the enemy are going to come in down this slope. So I'm going to do what I would normally do. Even though it's going to make for a worse battle experience for you guys. And I'm sorry for that, but I don't want to take many casualties here. So what we're going to do is we're going to get ourselves set up in such a way that when they come onto the battlefield, they are immediately met with our army. Right? That's kind of how that works. So, with only one lord, I think, behind us, because the garrison is coming in from here, I don't need to deploy a huge amount to deal with him. In fact, arguably, I don't need to deploy anything to deal with him, but I might send Futep over there for a quick 1v1, just, you know, to hone his skills. So basically, I'm going to have everything here ready to meet Skarbrand and the reinforcements with a little bit dealing with the Lord that suggested we start proceedings here. And I don't think he's actually helped. I think in starting proceedings over here, he's essentially signed their death warrants in a much easier way for me, or at least a way I'm going to find a lot easier to deal with. So I'm going to send Futep to 1v1 this dude, and yeah, we'll deal with the rest of them when they show up. Oh, hang on. Yeah. We might be giving them just a little bit too much room. Now, this is such a cheesy way to do things, but, you know, it's one of the ways you play the game, especially on higher difficulties when they send 4 or 5 stacks. That's actually a really good way to deal with them. And we still have Tomb Swarm, which I'm going to really enjoy. However, for the time being, we are going to watch this War Sphinx send a bloodletter flying. Or a Skull Crusher, I suppose is probably what he is, but any particular reason you're standing still? Come on, Futep. Where'd he go? Ah, there he is. It looks like every time he's like, really? You want me to deal with this one guy on my own? Woo! Where'd he go? Oh, this is just... It's sad that this is... this dude decided he was going to be brave, and bravery is not what wins you wars. I think this line is arguably too spread out, but that's okay. Because we can collapse in when they arrive. I really want Rakash to deal with that quickly, because I do want Rakash over here when Skarbrand arrives. Alright, we're going to get the Hyrule Titans to immediately Spirit Leech Skarbrand. Start getting him out of here, and we're going to start deploying our infantry into these battles with the Ushabti right there behind them to help out. We're going to drop a Tomb Swarm on this little middle bit here. And we'll drop a Restore on the Hyrule Titan as well. Now I'm going to just send the Necropolis Knights in on the flanks. And between the double Spirit Leeches, the Hyrule Titans, the Archers, which will be given the order to focus Skarbrand down. Whoa, what? Futep took half his health in damage against the level 4 Lord? Futep, what are you doing? Come on, man. You know what? Futep deserves a a right royal spanking after that, I tell you. I think it's because he's giving, because he's on the Sphinx, he's giving a lot of extra hit chances that he doesn't necessarily need to, would be my guess. Anyway, you can see that over here we are beginning to set fire to a lot of things, which is good. The more things that are on fire, the easier the battle is going to be for us. We're going to need another Tomb Swarm, and Rakash, despite making a bit of a tit of himself, has finally been useful. I'm going to pull our Necrotect out of there, because I don't want him to die. I mean, he might. Looks like he's beginning to crumble. I'm trying to get him out of there. But he was right on... Oh, for God's sake! Ah! I'm always losing heroes, man. Whatever. We'll call that the price of cheese. I'm just so unlucky. I lose track of them for half a second and then I just lose them. It's not really unlucky, it's bad play, but it feels unlucky. It feels cursed. Alright, and you can see here that we've trapped them up against the edge, so this isn't really a fight so much as it is just a slaughter. And I am just going to get our archers to start firing in. We might lose a couple of things here, but this was Skarbrand's final stand. It'll be easy enough to global recruit some more stuff. Or just local recruit some more stuff, to be perfectly honest. With a Tomb Swarm hitting the enemy over here, we should then begin to burn up some more Bloodletters. And because Bloodletters disappear when they rout, it's pretty easy then to rout the rest of the army, because it's not, oh, they might come back, it's, no, they're just gone. You know, they don't exist anymore. And you can see that pretty much instantly with that Tomb Swarm, the morale effect of being trapped, losing their leader, all of that compounds into one very easy victory. I didn't have to send my Necrotect in. In fact, I didn't realise that I had. Poor bugger. Well, we lost one hero, unfortunately, but it is what it is. And we did manage to successfully take out Skarbrand and his army. I'm gonna leave them to wonder. Killed in battle, Itubom. Well, he had a glorious and short career. Right, so we have our new hero recruitment capacity available, so we're going to go over here and get a... Yeah, we're going to get a Wrathful hero at level 13. We're going to put him into that army there. We're going to... Yeah, we're going to go Imhotep. We're basically just going to grab a bunch of this stuff, honestly. Yeah, I'm a little bit annoyed that I lost that hero, but the battle for Galbaraz was won. Galbaraz has now been taken. That was one of the settlements I needed to control. And Lammy can force march towards Grunty Mingle and take that. Grunty Mingle is such a silly name, man. Let's get some walls in Galbaraz. Let's get a growth building. And for now, I'm going to get a control building as well, because of the Cornite corruption. Okay, that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. We are so very close now to taking out the Lizardmen faction. and dealing with Talaqua. We might, because I'm pissed off with him, just sail over and quickly knock out Kairos. I mean, if we kill Kairos, then I think it would make sense to actually just sail over and raise his forces to the ground. I have no interest in holding it, because it's not territory that's good for us, but I would like to wipe him out, and perhaps we can do that. Taking a quick look at the victory things. We just need to control Numas. That is literally the only thing right now on that list. And then we need to build some of these things, which we can build pretty easily. They're not hard to do. We just need to keep growing. And then we'll have our long campaign victory. We are drawing to an end in this campaign. It's been a good one. And I hope you'll keep watching with me until the end to see what happens. Thank you very much for watching again. Bye-bye.